In the heart of the nation where laughter's the key, Natch has the podcast, join the revelry, taking the Mickey with positive spin. Country folks unite, let the Nat Chat begin. Nat Chat where the laughter's free, spin tales about politics with positivity.
I'm getting schooled in radio and audio production because I have a fellow radio head. Sorry, Damo? Oh, how come I can't hear you? No. Have you turned it off? Wow, you turned it off and you're giving me lessons. Mm-hmm.
Is that on now?
I'm not going to say a word.
It's a bit daunting being on the other side of an interview, actually, especially with you.
Good start.
Yeah, well, don't know the difference between on and off. But then you being a seasoned professional, you might have it ready to go, Jade.
I did, and then you played around with it.
I did.
And anyway, it's great to have you here, Damo Bradshaw. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, Jade, for, what was it, Wednesday?
You're actually not. You're lying.
No, I've done the opinion shot. Did you have to say that?
Yeah, well, I don't know how you thought you would walk into my studio and get off lightly.
The sweats up and everything. I pulled my calf muscle getting out of the van last night.
Getting out of the van.
Yeah, that's terrible, isn't it?
It's not great.
Not even breaking into a jog or anything.
No.
But it is a 4-foot drop and I dropped the wrong way.
When was the last time you broke into a jog, Damo?
Me? Saturday.
Really?
Yep.
What were you running from?
That's to be disclosed at a later date.
Really?
Yeah. No, I do walk a fair bit that, Jade. Yeah, try to after work. You got to. Otherwise, you'd end up the size of the studio you're in.
Well, and you know what? Radio's notorious for that, isn't it?
I've seen blokes go in there skinny and you come out fat, right? So, yeah, I started to whack weight on probably 18 months ago. Oh, this is no good. I've got to start to watch what I eat. Because I've got that metabolism anyway. I got to look at something and on goes half a kilo. And I was warm before I started. You got to watch what you eat, mate, because you're not active. So I try and stay as active as I can after work.
Well, that's good. I remember when I first started in radio in the 1900s.
Yes, that's what I started too, Jade.
But it was straight out of school because I got my job while I was doing Year 12 exams, and I put on about 35 kilos within about 6 months.
Yep.
It was horrific.
It's dangerous.
It's really dangerous.
Yeah, no, I was seriously warned. So
Right. Well, I hope that your calf muscle gets better.
that's probably something to do with your back.
Possibly.
It all goes, don't say it. It all goes down. You know, it all joins.
It does all join.
I've been struggling with my right hip a bit, and now my right calf muscle's gone pop. So
You might need to go visit a chiropractor or one of the wonderful allied health professionals we have in Mildura, Damo.
yeah, if I get away with work, Jade, I will. I work from 9:30 till 6 most days.
Do you?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Myo Sports is a good one, but they have there's lots of late night appointments that you can. Well,
is that with Myo Sports?
Yeah, that's Romney.
Romney Bowden. Yep.
So
I
that's
should do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see how it feels tomorrow.
yeah, right. That old chestnut.
It'll come good on me, Jade.
Yes. Now you've been pestering me to come on this podcast for a long while, which I appreciate.
It pestered you, yeah.
You've pestered me. Let's be honest. You near harassed me. That's fine. Brenden, your sidekick was supposed to be here to talk about your lengthy career in Speedway announcing.
I believe you're a bit of a rev head.
Yeah, you could put it that way. Yes.
I've had good authority that you're a bit of a rev head. You'll have to come down one night, Joe, as a guest.
Yes, I absolutely will. Yeah.
You will.
Yeah. Well, I will.
Have you seen the complex?
Not for a little while. Now, your dad
Yep.
has been
in. Dad.
Yes, was involved since the 50s. True or not?
Very true. Yeah. Club was formed in 1947. And the late Jerry Cornell, who had Cornell Sports Store in Mildura, Cornell Sports, he just happened to say at a Tuesday night meeting, I think we should build a speedway track over on the plateau over there because it'd make great entertainment after church on Sunday.
Great entertainment. Wow, it seems like it goes from one extreme to another, doesn't it?
That's exactly what he said. It's in the minutes.
Now we're talking about Olympic Park
Yep,
Speedway
Olympic
here,
Park
not
Speedway.
to be confused with Timmins.
So they did. They built the track up on the plateau and they decided to have a Sunday evening, good way to end the weekend. You wouldn't do it now, Jay. It'd be financial suicide. But they used to pack it out. And, 1952, Jeff Clifford from Merbean, his brother Barry, decided to build a speedway sidecar because they had seen one on TV. Mm. Well, early newsreels at the cinema, and the old man was the second.
Wow.
And they come on, and Scott off Curly Calms from Merbean was third. They were pioneers. They were daredevils.
I was going to say, so this, like, he's literally seen one on a speaky newsreel before the pictures.
Yeah, Jeff Clifford from Merbean, he decided, I'm going to go and build one. So they were all mechanically minded, but...
Well, they had to be. This is the thing, right? When you go back, and that's the 50s to me doesn't seem like that long ago.
Yeah.
But when you're out here, and I often think about when I'm driving around this place, like how tough it must have been to be so, and we feel like we're geographically removed from the rest of society now,
Yeah,
right?
well, we mentioned back then.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. So they had to be mechanically minded.
They had to be, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were daredevils. You could hurt yourself without even falling off one of them things, Jay. Burn yourself, bruise yourself on bolts that shouldn't be where they were. And
I see you've inherited that trait.
yeah, they were daredevils of the era. And yeah, it just took off from there, and we got memorial trophies after two of them now, and it's Speedway sidecar's never been bigger, but my involvement didn't come in until I was, we haven't got Brenden Gledhill this week. What are you doing? That's where my involvement come in.
Yeah, right. So Brendan got you involved.
Yeah, well, my older brothers, I've always been involved because Sunday night was Speedway night growing up. And then, the oldest brother, he rode and then he stopped and then we just stayed involved in the club. And yeah, I don't know how it happened. Brendan wasn't going to be there one Sunday night and one Saturday night. We'd changed nights by then. And they said, how about you coming out and having a go? And I was, but I'd never been near a microphone in my life.
I was going to say, we're not talking about riding here. We're talking about the announcing.
And I'd never done anything like that before, Jay. I hadn't even written out times at the place. I don't even know I think it's because they were looking at me. I was in the room.
Right place, right time.
And I said, no, I can't do that. No way. Well, you're the only one here that... I said, but I'm not the only one here. There's no one else. We're all equal. Why have you picked my out? Don't know. Well, you better have a backup because I just said I'll either sink or swim. There's no backup.
So you had to swim.
Yeah, 16 of Australia's sidecar teams from all over Australia here for the sidecar spectacular.
Oh, so it wasn't just like a weekly little meet. It was a
Longest running speedway sidecar event in the world. It still is at the time, and I had on my own.
Wow.
No co-commentator, no nothing. Had to do all the presentations, speak to all the big hoobs and everything. Done a whole lot from straight off the bat. Just walked out, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and
wow.
to the end of it.
So it was literally a baptism by fire.
Yep. And if I had walked off, they wouldn't have had a commentator. There was no one in the tower doing times. I was relaying the times down to. There was no one else there. If I had walked off, you would have watched three-quarters of that meeting in silence. So
wow. Well, lucky you were there.
Don't know how.
And at least willing and able. Well, the universe delivers things. Are you a big manifester, Damo? Do you keep a gratitude journal?
Yeah, maybe should. Maybe I should because everyone said that night at presentation in the club rooms, which they got me to do as well, who's Miss Brenden?
Miss Brenden?
So I have. And they said, well, we haven't. And then he come back the next week, obviously, and he just said, stay on board, mate. So
wow. That's great. So maybe you should keep a gratitude journal and charge your crystals under the Virgo full moon tonight.
That's 26 years ago, Joe. Quite over a quarter of a century.
Yeah.
And Brendan's done 45.
So do you actually like each other? He's not here to defend himself. Do you actually like each other? Do you get along?
Yeah, we do. We do get along. And there's times on a Saturday night I could crown him. He won't know that till he hears his podcast. But
he may say the same thing about you.
He probably does. Yeah, there's times I could strangle him.
Why don't you?
Oh.
Because you have to share a
got to share a job with me.
Yeah.
No, we're out in the centre of the track for mainly most of it. But he give me a break. So I can't really.
Well, that's right. And this led to your job in radio, right?
Yeah, that's a funny story. About 6 or 7 times over 25 years, Brendan said, got a radio job coming in tonight, Damo, do some commentary. And I've seen it all before, Joe. They're usually hopeless.
Oi.
They are.
Oh, hang on. Hold on.
They're usually really terrible.
Well, I concur to that, actually.
I said, who you got coming down now? He said, Anthony Millick from River 1467. No, I haven't heard of him. I wasn't listening to River then.
You would have been a lot younger then.
Yeah.
So you weren't on the AM dial just
No,
yet.
he wasn't on the AM
No.
dial. And he come down and I thought, here's another city slicker. And he was from Renmark, born and raised in Monash. Mm-hmm. Went to Renmark Speedway all his life, due the sport back to front.
So your judgy assumption.
Jumped on the microphone and sounded like he'd been there for 20 years, and I got really jealous pretty quick.
Wow.
I didn't let anyone know that. I thought, I don't like you. You're too quick to be that good at it. Mm-hmm. So we just encouraged him to keep coming down with us. And, yeah, he made a really good commentary team. One night there was a crash or something. There was something that was going to hold us up for a while, and Brenden said, I want you to interview him about radio. Mm. He must have been sussing me out because I was asking him deliberate, proper questions. He was just giving me yeses and nos. I turned the microphone off at one stage. I said, look, man, we're just standing here all night doing this shit. I know what you're doing. Get on with it, will you? And he just going, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no.
He'd set you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the interviewer just turned off and he goes, come here. So what? And he said, you want a job? I said, doing what? He said, on radio, ring me Monday morning. So I rang him Monday morning and he said, come up and see me and the boss. So I went up. He said, look, we've got guys out of the radio school here in the last week from Melbourne. He said, they want to start at the top, work their way down to the bottom. I went, right. He said, you can think on your feet, which you got to do in radio. Mm. You're not daunted by names. Mm. He said, if you can interview me for 9.5 minutes with yes and no's, you can handle 3 minutes on radio. I got one. I didn't get anything out of him, Jay, except yes or no's. But but
you did it for 8 or 9 minutes.
9 minutes, he reckoned. He timed it. I just kept smiling at him.
Trying to creep him out.
Because I try harder, man. It's not that hard to start thinking of questions.
Yeah. Well, it's not really. And you're right. So the Melbourne Radio School I know, look.
But I want to start on a Neil Mitchell show.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, right. Well, after about 10 years' experience.
Yeah. And this is the thing, right? So I worked for Ace Radio for a long time and the owners of Ace love them. They're very, very good people.
Yeah.
The Melbourne Radio School, however, and I think also I used to host a lot of work experience kids from Swinburne and Deakin, and I was originally out of year 12, I wanted to go to Swinburne to do media, right? And I'd got into that and then ended up getting this job in radio.
You went through the radio school?
No, God, no. And this is the thing, right? I think the people that have gone through the training, being taught by people that have never worked in the industry, they then get to industry and same thing, they feel like they're overqualified. And I'm like, no. And the thing that used to annoy me, and I'm just going to go off on a little tangent here and tell you a little story.
Yeah.
So I did my time in the regions. I did Swan Hill, Hamilton, Horsham, went up to Queensland to work for a very small network there. Then got into Nova 100. And there's this thing in radio where you can work your butt off. In regional radio, you do your time and then you get to Cap City and a comedian or an athlete comes in and takes your job with 0 days experience, which is why...
It sounds terrible on here, they do.
They do. But, I mean, Hughesy, case in point, and I worked with Hughesy, Kate and Dave when Nova first launched. That was the breakfast team.
Terrible on here, Jay.
Anyway, but that was... when I got into politics and I met my now very good friend Sam Groth, I looked at him and I said, you and I are not going to be friends. I'm going to hate you. And he went, why? And I told him that same story. I said, here you are, a professional athlete. I've got trauma still from radio days. I've done my time, mate. You've come in here as an ex-athlete, a bit pissed off from COVID.
Should have lined him up and let him serve it.
Well, I've been trying to get him up here for 2 years now, and his excuse is I want him to come up for Easter for the tennis tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, during the Nationals on at the moment.
I know, but his excuse is I've got to drive for 7 hours with the kids in the car.
We're used to that here.
I was going to say,
we wouldn't go anywhere if you didn't do that, Sam. Wake up yourself.
Exactly.
Man. Come down and pick you up.
Will you? I think that might be part of the problem because he drives a little hairdresser car.
Does he? For a big man like that.
I know. I know.
Trying to catch a flight.
Well, that's what I keep saying. Anyway, so your journey in going from Speedway then to radio, because you still do the Speedway.
Yeah, I still do Speedway Saturday nights and wherever else they hire me around the mad country. And when I get time, a lot of that's backed off a bit now because I haven't got time Saturdays, Joe. I can't work flat out all the time. I've tried that. I tried that in my trade.
What was your trade before this?
Solid plasterer. I'm a cement renderer by trade.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 26 years on the trail.
Gee whiz. Any wonder you got a bad back.
I know what hard work is.
Yeah, you do.
That's makes you laugh. You're an outside broadcaster somewhere and the blokes come up and say good day and a bit of small talk. And you know what a hard day's work is, Brady. And that actually annoys me. I actually got a bit pissed one day at a bloke. I said, mate, what do you know about me? So you've been doing this for how long? I said, well, I'm 56, mate. I've been doing this 8 years. How else have I lived?
Yeah.
You got no idea. So I've been on trail for nearly 27 years. I ran my own business for 15.
Oof.
And that means you got to work harder than you do if you
I
work
was going
for
to
somebody.
yeah, exactly. Owning a small business, especially in this day, it's hard.
It's hard. So that's my background as far as work goes.
Yeah, right.
So I've done my yards in far as physical hard work. And I'll tell you what, radio's not much different. It might be physically hard, but after, what's it doing? 9:30 till 6 days a week. You get to that 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, it starts to get a little bit quiet.
Oh, I reckon by the time three-quarter time of the footy rolls around.
You walk outside 9th Street and she's a ghost town, Saturday Arvo.
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
Yeah. But because you do the footy and stuff as well, don't you?
Yeah, well, that's not so bad because I don't have to work Saturday anymore.
What do you mean you don't have to work Saturday?
Well, when you hear the sideline view come on at midday, I've already voice tracked that Friday. It's already pre-recorded.
Don't give away the magic of radio.
So
What are you doing?
I don't have to drive off anywhere till midday Saturday and head to the footy. So
Yeah, but you're still doing. I was going to say, but you're still doing you're still at the footy broadcasting.
That's only this year. Other than that, I have been live from 12 to 1, pre-record last hour and then bolt.
Ugh.
So I was in the station from 10 a.m. Saturday morning till 10 to football. And I admit, I put my hand up and said to Joe, I can't do this anymore.
Well, it's fair enough because not only is it like it's time consuming and it is time because everything's in real time apart from when you voice track and we don't do that.
No.
But it's also mentally exhausting because you have to be on
All day.
all the time.
Especially commentating footy.
Yeah.
But it's no different to my involvement in Speedway, Jade. I'd get down there Saturday morning at daybreak because I was part of the track staff. I'd leave at 4:30 that afternoon to go home and have a shower and come back and commentate.
But you don't get paid for that, do you?
No.
No.
A lot of times we don't even get home and have a shower.
But you love the Speedway. This is the difference, right? This is
Yeah, that was born into me. It's part of my DNA.
Yeah, exactly.
But same token, you can't keep doing that either.
yeah, but would you be there if you weren't commentating?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So you may as well.
I still go and watch it because the youngest brother, Jason, rode for 26 years
Yeah.
in a row.
In a row. No injuries, no break, nothing.
Nah.
Wow.
He finished 6 years ago, so I had no choice but to go and watch it. Well, you end up winning a state championship and, number 6 in Australia one. He was up amongst the best of them.
Yeah, right.
So I've been to the pointy end of it. Commentated a hell of a lot of. Been in England with commentary in the Speedway. So,
Have you really?
yep, toured England for 8 weeks.
Huh.
That's another story.
I was going to say, well, there's a story there. Tell us that. Don't shake your head at me.
There was an international series going on in England. Speedway sidecars had never ever taken hold over there. Solos were huge. It's a professional arena. Well, this guy that used to race grass track sidecars, which is only a little hobby over there really, decided to put his money where his mouth is and start this international sidecar Super Cup, which he'd ran for 1 year, and there was a couple of Australians went over and they did pretty well. One of my mates, Scott Cameron, got word of it and come to me and said that there's a series going on in England, Damo, and we need to go. So he said, you'll be the only person that can make it happen, I reckon. So I tracked down this guy's phone number, Paul Miller, and rang him. I didn't even think of the time difference. Got him out of bed. It was 3 a.m. in the morning their time. Woke him up and told him where I was from. As soon as he heard the word Mildura, he woke up. He goes, hang on, mate. Where'd you say you're from? It's Olympic Park Speedway, Mildura.
Did you just go into UK accent then?
And he goes, now I'm awake, mate. You got my attention. What do you mean you're from Olympic Park Speedway, Mildura? That's where we're from, mate. I'm a life member down here. I've got 2 sidecar teams that want to ride in your series. Holy hell. It's Lee Adams and Jason Crump's hometown. That's right. He goes, I'm going to have to ring you back, mate. I'm going to have to wake up and get my head around this. So he hung up on me and he rang me back. He said, mate, how far is Perth from Townsville? I said, yeah, well, 3 lifetimes compared to where you live.
I was going to say you wouldn't catch a bus.
He goes, well, I've got this team in Queensland. We're trying to book them in to fly out of Australia, out of Perth. I said, look, just leave it. Do you want a hand, Paul? I'll leave it to me. So he said, oh, yeah, well, I need another 2 riders. I ended up promoting for him. I ended up organising the field this end for him.
Wow.
He said to me, 6 months' work. He said, well, for that, you got a ticket to England.
That's brilliant.
Return. You got nowhere to stay. You're going to be, well, I hadn't, the riders and everything had all been billeted out, and so I just ended up in shed floors, and Brendan went with me.
How long were you there for?
8 weeks.
8 weeks sleeping on a shed floor?
Oh, no, well, Brendan got to bed a few times. He was put up by Ian Mills. He was in relative comfort compared to where I was. Yeah, we were in tents and we pioneered it, but 2 years later there was an FIM World Sidecar Championship too. So
yeah. Wow.
But it was weird. It was a whole different world, Jade, over in England. There'd be an accident or a track preparation. Guys, 14 cameras would jump the fence and run out to you. So it frightened me the first time.
Yeah, but that's because it's a big deal, right?
Hey mate, have you got 2 minutes? We're in an ad break. English speaking Polish radio station.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you've been interviewed.
Yeah, because it's Europe. And there's a huge interest in it in Europe, right? It's massive.
So we come back from there and still commentating, Judge.
Come back from there and going back to normal.
Oh, what put us into perspective for me, I remember one of the Australian titles we had, Sidecar Championship in the early 2000s. We had Big Screens Australia there for the first time ever at a speedway meeting in the country. Mildura's done a lot of firsts. And we got down there and they had all these old speedway meetings on playing as the crowd sort of come in. And my co-commentator goes, you remember that night? Okay. No. Another meeting comes on. What about that? No. We watched it for about an hour and there wasn't one speedway meeting either him or I recognised. Their commentary was all through it. We've done that many, I can't remember that night.
So you're not like, because you know how like some sports commentators will remember specific moments from specific games that they've done. Yeah, right.
People say to me in the club rooms afterwards, that was a really good meeting. Yeah, was it?
So you're not actually taking it in. You're just going through the motions.
Yeah, well, it all happens that quick, Jade. You can't be, it's just, you got to commentate as it happens. You got to be that accurate.
Yeah.
But I think you're part of it. You don't seem to sit back and actually enjoy it as a spectator.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a headset on like that, and your referee's telling you what their decisions were, and race times, and people fighting and arguing. No, I don't remember. The whole 26, 27 years, it'd only be a handful of memories out of it.
So out of that handful of memories, what's the most memorable?
The most memorable? The most memorable of commentary.
Oh, of any of the meets, really. The most memorable moment out of that handful that you've retained.
I think probably 2002 Australian Sidecar Championship at Mildura. We just got home from England. Our 2 local boys had gone to England, and Jaden Mays and late Warren Monson had made the final. So we're going to get 2 Aussies in the top 4, 2 Mildurans in the top 4. And then the second corner is a big kerfuffle. All the bikes come together. There was a bit of an accident, and the referee's got to put his light on and exclude somebody, and he excluded the wrong person in my eyes. And the atmosphere that night. Because here I am with a microphone. Brendan's horse, he'd gone horse. He couldn't talk at all. He was in the tower. And Andrew and Cleve Day of Power were the ones that had got tangled up in this mess in the VIP. And they're legends of the sport. And I've just slowly wandered down towards them because you're infield commentating.
Yeah, yeah.
Damo, tell them when they're on 2 minutes because you got 2 minutes once the referee says you got 2 minutes to be back at the tapes. And I just remember looking up, there's people just packed. And I'd known Andrew and Dave for years because I'd raced against my brother. And I'll just never forget the electricity out there to the calmness on the track.
To the calmness on the track during all of that.
Yeah, he just, I wandered up. He goes, Braddy, it's Cleve, I'll let you know when you're on 2 minutes. Cool. His mechanics arrived. He just said, Jeff, Longy, check the oil, check the chain, the back tyre. Yeah, that's all. He just stood there watching and talking to me. It's just like, it's like he's having a cup of tea.
Yeah, right.
The buzz out there was, it had to be sort of weird. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I guess you've got to be calm in a crisis to do this sort of thing anyway, though, don't you?
Well, yeah, I think you got to have no brains to be a fair bit of it.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, not no brains. You got to have no fear, Jade. I've been on the back of one a lot of times. I've never raced, but I've been around the track on one race speed, and I used to jump on with my late brother all the time, and you got to have a little bit of no fear in you.
Oh, absolutely. How come you never raced?
I met a girl at the wrong time.
Oh, is that why? Legitimately?
I would have raced otherwise, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah, I was riding a bike around in the bush, and I said to Dad before he died, how about designing me an outfit because I wasn't having to ride on one because I'd been on one so many times. The next progression was to race one.
Yeah, yeah.
And I met my ex-wife and didn't do it. I probably regret it, actually.
I was going to say, is that one of your life's regrets?
Yeah, probably. Then I think back, no, probably not.
Yeah.
Because I had the chance to passion you for my brother, and I went, I'm getting too old for that stress.
Yeah.
It's a unique sport, and it's taken me right around the country and overseas.
Has it taken you around the world?
Around the world, yeah. A lot of Australia.
And it's given you a career change.
Yeah, I owe my job at the moment. It's not that, I owe that. Yeah, I owe River to Speedway Olympic Park. That's why I keep doing it, probably, Joe. I owe the sport something, although I probably don't. So I put my hours in.
I was going to say, I don't reckon you owe them anything, and they probably don't owe you anything. It's just a mutually gratifying relationship.
Yeah, I think it's time some of the riders put a little bit in.
What do you mean by that?
I find them a bit strange. I'll spend $20,000 on a sidecar and they'll let other blokes on a Tuesday night run their sport.
What do you mean?
Well, it's a democratic system. If all the solo riders or sidecar riders come down to a Tuesday night meeting, they could paint the fence pink if they wanted to.
Could they?
Well, it's all democratic. It goes to the vote. So we'll go and spend $20,000 on a speedway bike. We won't come down to Tuesday night meetings, and all we'll do is whinge about the decisions they make.
Yeah, gotcha.
Well, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You got to spend $20,000, come down and be part of the club and be part of the decision-making process.
This is the thing, though, isn't it? This is we love to live in a democracy, and we do. Don't get me wrong.
Be part of it, though.
But be engaged in it. Be part of it.
Put your hand up. I don't agree with that. No one's going to shoot you. They just won't do it. They'll come whinging to me.
But this is the thing. If you are going to whinge about something, you better be prepared to put your hand up and do something about it.
Yeah.
That's my principle.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. You just got to, they just never come down. It's like I got a life membership at the club. It wasn't just because of track staff or commentary. I've done about 15 jobs down there, but so when I was doing the marketing of it and all the publicity through the papers and the radio stations, a few of the riders, I don't like your ad. Well, come around tomorrow night at home when I'm having a cup of coffee writing it and give us a hand.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, dude. We all know each other.
Is that changing or is it getting worse?
Worse.
Is it really? Because I would have thought, and maybe it's just because I try to make a conscious effort not to criticise people and build people up rather than tear them down.
Never knock a volunteer's work, Joe.
No, well, that's exactly right. And also, never take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from, Damo. I'll leave you with that pill.
Yeah.
During this. Yeah. But yeah, I would have thought that maybe society had gone in a way where we're actually a bit more self-aware now and less willing to criticise the work of others, particularly when they're volunteers?
I think we are a bit, but we're all still quick to point fingers and backstab, and everyone's out for their own and just look after their own now.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, good old country values don't exist anymore.
Oh, I think they do.
They do, but not in certain generations, don't they?
Nah.
They don't. They don't. Underneath, I reckon I found it changing underneath my little brother's generation.
Mm.
I remember distinctly loaning a set of golf clubs to one of his mates. Never got them back. Now, if that was me and a mate, you get a punch in the head over.
Are you for serious?
I'm for serious. They were actually my mum's golf clubs. If we did that to our mate, if we did that to one of my mates, we did that to each other, you'd have been...
You didn't get them back.
No, it would have been a punch in the head material back in the 80s. But these young kids were like, say, they're only your mum's golf clubs.
No.
Where are they? Well, I don't know. Lend them to this one, he lend them to that.
Oh, no.
I said to Mum, there's something wrong with this generation.
I don't know whether it's the whole generation. I just think it's the people you're hanging out with.
No, she started looking at me and she goes, you start to sound like me. I said, Mum, what's the thought process behind that?
I don't think there is one, is there?
No, I just noticed it led in tools and that over the years to younger people.
Yeah. That's just odd.
Yeah, it is.
That's very strange to me.
It is, but I've found it.
Yeah, right.
I have found a lot, Jade, actually, over the years.
Yeah. Give us another insight into your... How do you keep your gravelly voice? Is this how many bottles of whiskey do you drink
Gravelly
a week?
voice. I'd like
And how
to
many
know.
packets of darts do you smoke?
I smoke, but not that much. I don't drink.
You don't drink
Very rarely.
at all?
Very rarely.
Really?
Yeah, everyone tells me I've got a gravelly voice. I don't hear this. I don't listen to myself and go, oh, that's you got a gravelly. I can't hear that, Jade. It just doesn't sound.
Can't you?
I hate my voice. I hate hearing myself on radio. I hate hearing my name on radio.
Do you?
Yeah.
Guess what? Bad luck. You're in radio.
I remember Anthony Millick, my boss who gave me the job, said to me, I hate me. Damo, when you're finishing, don't ever say my name on air. I hate it. This is my first day on the job, and I'm thinking, you're off your head, but you're on radio, man. How are you going to get away with that? I know what he means now.
Yeah, I know what you mean by the name thing. I used to hate hearing my name, which is why I only ever went by Jade. I didn't never use my maiden name on radio ever.
My late mum died this. Damo.
Like Madonna.
And then she'd have an eye on it. She would die for seeing that. And it just, the gravelly voice. Have I really got a gravelly voice?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't have asked you how many bottles of whiskey you drink and how many darts you smoke per week if you didn't.
No whiskey, Jade.
No whiskey.
No whiskey. Not many cigarettes.
Disappointing.
I don't know what it is. Huh. Might just fade out as I get older to completely stop.
Or it'll get worse.
Yeah, probably.
Not worse, it'll get better. Gravel's good.
So they reckon, but I can't. But it's true, I don't like it. I'll get in the car with the wife for the weekend and I'll just instantly, what are you doing? Turn and work off.
Yeah, fair enough too.
Should just put back. It's my radio station.
Yeah, but no, I get that.
And then come the end of footy season, I don't want to know anything. Don't want to know the world Sunday.
Yeah.
After the grand final, probably about a week, I don't want to know. Just sick of hearing my name, sick of hearing everything, sick of hearing Damo this, Damo that, sick of my own voice. It's just time to shut. Like Damo Clauseley drove me mad.
Really?
Yeah, just hearing it over and over and over and over again. It's really drove me mental, Jade. That's what people don't realise. This guy must have an ego the size of Kenny Park.
I was going to say.
Hate it.
Really?
Oh, join Damo Claus tomorrow. Oh. After about 4 days of Damo Claus, enough of him.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I actually thought that was a bit of they've set you up here and they're taking the piss.
They didn't.
It's pretty funny.
They didn't, actually.
They didn't? What, so you did put your hands up for it?
I put my hand up. I said, Damo Claus, this is fucking stupid. They said, if we can't sell it as that, we'll change the name. It's all right.
And they sold it as that?
Yeah, really fast, within 3 or 4 hours.
Jeepers.
That's what I said.
Wow.
I thought they were going to really fail bad on that, and they didn't.
Yeah, right.
But a lot of people did say we're the only station that made it seem like Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you're the only station that's got any local content.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Apart from the community station, obviously, and Silco's there now. Have you listened to Hot lately?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
gotten better.
Yeah, since Silko's gone over.
They wouldn't listen before that.
No, but I think this has been a project of Silko's for years. He's been on that committee.
I did 16 years there. I used to tell them, go get a couple of radio heads and get some training schools. Probably turn this into a good. So I had a motorsport show down there for 16 years. Let's Talk Motorsport.
Yeah.
Which turned into a sportsman's night over 9 years.
Yep.
Which raised something like 30 grand for some major cancer resources, I think, in the 9 years we existed.
Yeah, okay.
So that was good.
Yep.
That was just a how do we grow this radio show?
Yeah.
We'll take it from here on the stage. So we met some pretty cool people. Dick Johnson and all those guys were big names for you in 9 years.
Oh, that's good. I got into a bit of a verbal stoush with Larry Perkins over in the Murrayville pub not that long ago.
Not hard.
No, not, is it?
I'm not going to say anything, but
I initially felt bad, and then because I don't usually get that worked up, particularly in public.
nice.
But
9 years, Jade, right? 9 years I've done a sportsman night for. And out of the people that said no, we heard from. With manners, no, I'd love, but Larry Perkins never ever got back to us.
really, it's just up the road. That's a shame.
We
isn't
even
it?
ran into him a few times. Larry, I'll write to you. But no, he would have been great to have as a guest, but they say he's a strange man. But you have a go at your political bent.
Yes. Yeah.
And what, out in the pub?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was doing an official visit there. He rocked up with a notepad and everything. So I thought, this is going to be exciting. And then I realised who it was. And I felt bad originally. And then I thought, really dig in. So I did. Yeah. This week, the Sunraysia Lifeline Project Lifeline Ride is on.
Yeah, Steve Hedges and the boys. Yep. You going?
I'm going.
Oh.
I'm getting on the back of a bike. Yeah, because I haven't got a license to actually drive one.
So where are they going to Broken Hill, aren't they?
No, Patchawallock, Broken Hill.
Well,
Broken Hill's a little while away.
yeah, Patchy. Yeah, well, they're fun, Jade. It's a worthwhile cause. If I had more time, I wouldn't mind getting trained in that area, but I've got enough time to do that sort of thing. I haven't thought about that, but
Yeah.
I've got enough days to day now.
No, but maybe it's an evolutionary thing when you retire. What are you, 56, 57? So retirement's not that far away.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, I was going to say you had a small business, so you would have bugger all superannuation put away.
I'll be working to the lunchtime of the day of your funeral, Jade. An afternoon funeral.
This is one of those things, though, that people don't get. When you own a business, the last priority of yours as far as cash flow is
Super.
putting some away in super.
Yeah, dream on.
Yeah, exactly, unless you've got a tax problem you need to.
Nah, I never had a tax problem. My accountant used to look at me and go, you're a problem, but I don't know why you're working.
Yeah.
No, I've got very little super. I've got a house I own.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
With no mortgage.
No mortgage.
Gee whiz.
So I got that for a bit of capital behind me, which
In the divorce?
I don't look back on life and go, no, I don't do that, Joe. I could quite happily cash out now. I've got a pretty good one, I reckon. If that was to happen. No, I haven't got many regrets, really.
Oh, good.
That's one of them. No, you shouldn't really, to be fair, in a marriage of that long, you should.
How long were you married for?
I was with her for 28 years.
Gee
Married for-
whizzer.
Yeah, childhood sweetheart, and yeah, it's a long story. 14,
I've got time.
15 years.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't be where I am now if I was still in that setup. So,
Hindsight's 20/20 though, isn't it?
yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I left the marriage, and it was probably the hardest thing I've ever put myself through. But I don't even know if I come out any better for it. But I know that my life's not like it was.
I was going to say, but you've got a different. You would, like you said, you wouldn't be where you
I
are
wouldn't be
now.
where I am now, and I'd be still on a trail. And I was the best looking man in Australia, Jade. Apparently, I've been with every woman.
Were ya?
in the Southern Hemisphere. Yeah.
Right, allegedly.
Allegedly,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You must have been a regular Fabio.
Busy man. Maybe I'm like my uncle. That's another.
I was going to say, do you want to go there?
Well, like I said, I haven't got many. That's one of them. But yeah, I'm happy with life now. Yeah,
Good. You're on wife number
2.
Okay, just checking.
I told my late mum, that's it, hung the boots up. She just laughed at me and laughed.
No, it's fair enough.
I thought I had 28 years of not very happy, and why would you do it again?
Well,
And I met the opposite of her, so.
well, there's this. You meet someone that comes
Completely
along.
opposite.
Yeah, it happens.
I didn't think she was real, actually, first. Getting a camera or someone's planted this on me. It was just so opposite to what I was used to. It took me a long time to get sort of feel comfortable.
Really?
Yep.
How come? Because of what you'd been through for the nearly 30 years before that?
Just wasn't. What do you mean you want to know my advice? You want to know my thoughts? What?
You want an opinion?
Yeah, wow. How long has this been going on? It was weird.
And how long you been married now?
Oh, shit. 7 years.
Is that all?
Yeah, together 12 or something. Long enough.
Oh, don't say that.
No, JJ, in the time we've been together, and I can seriously, honestly say this, we've never had a fight.
Really?
Nope.
You don't just start a fight every now and then, or is that a woman thing?
Oh, no, I know plenty of men that start fights. No, it's just something we don't do.
Huh.
We start getting a bit pissed at something, you just put the kettle on and have a chat. So that was
very adult of you.
That was one of my stipulations when we got together. So if you want to stand around and argue, it'll be this, I'll be gone because I've spent 28 years doing that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I ain't going to do no more of it. And she looked at me and said, no, mate, you start to argue and I'll just be gone. So it's just, we don't even try to put the kettle on and talk. We don't fight.
Huh.
When I think about it, when I'm talking to you like this here now, no, we don't fight. We don't. Even when you got in a bad mood, just don't. Life's too short.
Well, that is true.
Too short.
That is very true.
The amount of people that, God, they've been dropping off the perch in the last.
It's bad, isn't it? I was thinking about this the other day and I had someone contact. No, the amount of cancer diagnoses that.
It's not normal, Joe. Australia's death rate's 150% higher than it's ever been. That's right. It's actually trending like that right around the world. I wonder why.
I was going to say, you're a conspiracy theorist?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I know what I believe and what I believe in.
Like what? Why do you think it's so high?
I didn't believe COVID from the minute I seen it. I just said to my wife right off the bat, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. There was no such thing as coronavirus, in my opinion. We had a bad flu season. If you go back to 2017, have a look at our flu figures, which 6,500 Australians died of, 34 in one day in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
No one did, because it was influenza A. Wasn't it? Influenza A, influenza B? But this is the thing. They're different strains of.
Well, COVID's no longer recognised in Victoria as a disease.
As a, what do they call it? Reportable disease.
So what's that tell you?
What does it tell you, Damo?
Well, it tells me that it was globally orchestrated.
I don't think, being on the inside now and seeing how the wheels of government do not work, I don't think that there is a government in one country that would be competent enough to do that, let alone orchestrate it around the world.
All right.
Let's be honest.
Are we just ran, or I'll put it back to you, Jade, are we just ran by absolute left-wing weirdos?
Yes.
Well,
Very simply,
don't
yes.
pack of bedwetters during that.
Yes. 100. Why do you think I'm here where I am now, Damo? Because I got so pissed off during COVID.
The Human Rights Commission have just released their findings. So human rights were never taken into consideration.
Of course they weren't. You remember who was running the show in this state, don't you?
They weren't healthy. He was taken under that. That's why Brett Sutton went missing.
Mm-hmm. And Jerome Weimar keeps getting these cushy jobs.
People forget, Jade, that I was paid to watch 186 press conferences.
Oh, my.
Well, that's my job at work.
I know.
And I'm telling you, after the second press conference, that twit didn't know what he was saying.
He doesn't know what he's saying now.
He just lied.
I get to question him this year in PAYAC, and I can't wait.
Hey, ask him. I said this on air in the Brekkie show. You know where they got to put his statue?
Who, Dan Andrews?
Where are we turned into a fountain?
No, you know where they should put it? On the Gold Coast.
Front gate.
Because Tom Tate, the mayor of the Gold Coast, reckons he's the best ambassador for the Gold Coast they've ever had.
Well, he is. But I'd love to see him as the front entrance of Werribee crap farm too.
I don't think it should be here. I think they should put it on Cavill Avenue in Surfers Paradise.
Jerome Weimar, we were supposed to interview. I was supposed to interview Jerome Weimar.
What for?
Well, when they were up here at the base hospital, he rang all the media outlets wanting to be interviewed. Mm-hmm. And my boss got all excited. Oh, Jerome Weimar wants to be interviewed. It's not an interview, that's twit.
No,
he just gets up and repeats what two other people just told you. What
exactly. He's just a bureaucrat at the end of the day.
And Joe looks at me and goes, "What are you talking?" I said, he was Thomas the Tank Engine before this. And now he become a Commonwealth. You can't write this stuff.
No, you can't write this. It's like Utopia. Do you watch Utopia on the ABC? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't watch it anymore because it's a little too true to life for me.
Thank goodness we haven't got any of those people involved at Speedway.
Yeah, well, because you've got good common sense. I'm trying to make common sense sexy again. I think we're getting there. We're trying. How do you think then? Yeah, I know. Common sense. Well, it's gone missing for quite some time. But I think that's because when you have people in leadership positions that don't have any, like we've seen with our premier the last, I don't want to get too political, mind you, it is a political podcast, whatever.
He was just, yeah.
No. Jacinta Allen I'm talking about, after all of this time and after we've tried to reform bail twice and tried to put machetes on the prohibited weapons list 3 times, she kind of goes, oh, okay, well, we might do something about it.
Have we got an opposition other than in Victoria, other than Nationals? Have we got
the Libs.
Who are they?
Well, Brad's actually been here a couple of times. Brad Button.
They don't jump up and down enough, Joe.
Well, they do, but this is the thing, right? We do spend a lot of time jumping up and down, but the media don't pick it up.
Oh, yeah, well,
they just don't, and this is the thing, the media's got a lot to answer for.
Left-wing bent media.
Correct. So if we are jumping up and down and we're saying the common sense things, the media is still not, for example, our local paper here, for example, I put out 4 or 5 media releases every week.
Yeah,
how many articles of mine do you ever see in that paper?
No.
None. So we can do everything we want, but unless the media are going to actually pick it up and start reporting both sides of the pancake, and Dr. Phil once said, doesn't matter how flat you make a pancake, there's always 2 sides.
That's
if
right.
people are only getting one side, that's a problem, and that's where we run into issues of successive governments like this one.
Look, I'm not into the American political scene, but you can see what the other day with Zelensky and Trump, they showed you 30 seconds of that. Watch the whole conversation.
Yeah. Exactly. Give it some context.
Oh, I still don't. I'm on a fence whether he should have. Well, he didn't really. JP Vance started it, but he was pretty arrogant in the first 25 minutes of that.
Yeah. Well, yes, but JD Vance is also.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said anything.
JD Vance is exactly. He's a bit dead behind the eyes. Yeah. He just needs to go in there and look pretty and just
shut up.
Shh. Yeah. Just don't speak. Because it was him, and there needs to be, I think, in politics, a few more advisors that will just say, you know what, you just need to be quiet.
Have you ever said anything in Parliament that could completely embarrass yourself? And as soon as you've said it, you've gone, what the hell was I saying then?
I don't think so. I've never arguably there was a vote because I'm the whip, so I have to give the votes. So I voted against the Greens a couple of weeks ago, and Grothy's turned around and looked at me and he's like, because they wanted to introduce a bill. And apparently there's an unwritten rule that we just support the Greens when they want to introduce a bill, but it was stupid. It was for another tax, so I voted against it. And he turned around and went, what are you doing that for? And I went, well, because I look like an idiot and I'm not voting with the Greens. Simple. Sorry. So, no, I don't think there's ever been I don't know, all of my contributions are on my YouTube channel. Feel free to work your way through.
Oh, I have had a look at a few of those. Mm-hmm. Well, they're not bad.
Yeah, well, I don't think there's ever, what are you getting at?
I was just wondering if you have got one of those moments.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
So I don't think there's people that have been on a microphone. I don't think there's anyone that hasn't.
No, I have. I treat every mic as if it's hot.
Brenden Gledhill doesn't. You can put that one to him.
I've sworn on air before on 3SH back in the 1900s. I dropped a few. That was bad. Yeah, I got a smack for that.
I saw it at the Speedway one night. No one ever picked it up except one guy.
Oh, really?
Well, that's what happens when you're a sidecar bouncing over the top of you.
Well, no doubt.
That's a long time ago, though. Yeah, pretty funny.
Oh, pretty funny, was it?
Oh, was it?
Did your life flash before your eyes?
No, well, I used to be around him, and I knew he was going to end up upside down and a bit close to me. It was like, it was sort of instant. And yeah, that was pretty cool. I forgot what day it was once on the home run.
Did you?
I completely forgot. So I know it ends in Y. Hope you're having a good one. Oh, look at the calendar. What day is it? What day is it? It's Wednesday.
It gets a bit like that sitting in a dark studio though, doesn't it? Doesn't it got it on the screen?
No, not back in the old audio vault.
Oh.
Good afternoon, welcome to the home run. Hope you're having a good... I know it ends in Y. Yeah. That's probably... Yeah, that's probably the... Royston Lloyd, a man called Royston Lloyd.
Why do I know that name?
I introduced him as Lloyd Royston. Why not? That was pretty...
Oh. Why do I know Royston Lloyd?
he's a bit of a... Yeah, you know, Royston. I don't know. He's a lovely bloke, Royston.
Where's he from? Who's he play for?
He used to sort of hang around Timber Speedway. He was on the ADFA for many years, I think, and involved with dried fruit. And
yeah, it's a familiar name to me. Anyway.
I got it wrong, though, James. I'm out here to said a while ago we have a talk to Lloyd Royston.
Yeah.
He has Royston Lloyd, Damo. How embarrassed do you think I was?
Well, yeah, but also he's got two last names, so not your fault.
So I ended up nicknaming you Smithy. Said I ought to call you Smithy. Your two last names, I just call you Smithy. I remember it then. So he's never forgot that. You're a lovely bloke, Royston Lloyd. In fact, that's something I'll put before I leave. Jade, all my years of motorcycling, I've met a lot of nice people.
Oh, I bet you have.
I've really met a lot of really nice people. But you got to have brains to ride a motorbike.
Yes, you just said before that they didn't. You changed your tune in less than an hour.
I think you got to have a few brains to ride a motorbike. And I think it reflects on the people that actually ride them. They're sort of intelligent people.
Yeah, but they're also very humble people. Probably because they brush with death. This is my theory. They brush with death every time they get on one, right?
Yeah. Oh, when you talk to my little brother, my youngest brother, about it, who's a fair old rider, well, you got to be prepared to scare yourself once a night, don't you?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
That's
good to do that stress.
Yeah, well, yeah, but for them it's also, and I know how I am when I get on a motorcycle, right? It's shutty eye, hitty hard, and the rush you get from it is, but I think that also helps keep you humble, right? There's humility in that.
There is. Well, this Speedway season coming, it's going to be a big one. Joe, we've got the National Sidecar and Solo Championship. You'll have to come down as a guest.
Can you put me in a sidecar just for a lap of honour or something?
Yeah, easy.
Can you?
You can organise that, yeah.
Sweet, I'm there.
All right, well, you and the other half can sit up in the VIP one night.
Yeah, great. Kids would love it. My husband was a huge fan. He was one of those ones that was a teenager during Lee Adams and Crumpy's era, and they used to race around on their bikes, and one was one and one was the other. Like it was that kind of
good stuff.
Yeah. So every time I see Lee, and I make sure I take a selfie because he was a Crumpy fan, but I won't say that out loud. But it's now become I'm on Team Adams.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you know? Have you met Jason Crump?
I don't think I ever have. No.
Yeah, no, Jason's pretty. Yeah. Well, they're all from here. So we went and watched when we were in England. We went to the World Cup final, which was Australia, England, Denmark, and Sweden, and the entire Australian side was from Mildura.
It's crazy, isn't it? But I said this in my inaugural speech. You asked me about embarrassing moments. The one pivotal moment I had in my very first speech in Parliament was I signed off my inaugural speech with "We put food on your plate and champions on racetracks in Mildura."
Dude, there's been 40, 30, 35 and 40 gone from here to England in solos.
Yeah. It's impressive.
Plenty of top line sidecar riders have been up around the best in the country. So.
Yeah. God, imagine if we had like a road track. I know. Is that another another podcast in itself?
Jade, if I was to go out on public record what I know about that from right off the dot 21 years ago, I could burn a lot of people.
Can we do that in another podcast? Because it just doesn't make sense to me.
Put it this way, I've got the original feasibility study.
From what year?
The first original feasibility study on Block H.
Yeah, which was what year?
Late 90s. Was never presented to council.
Why not? Why not, Damo?
I don't know.
Oh, yes, you do.
Only cost $300,000.
I was going to say, so what? This is a bit like the hospital master plan only cost $2 million, never been presented to anyone.
I've got the original from the company.
That's our next podcast because this just does not make sense to me.
So you sure you don't want that back? No, I'll just print another one down. That's all right. You got the original. And it took them... We had a radio show at the time, Jade.
Mm-hmm.
It took them 3 years to table it.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason we know that is because my mate doing the radio show with me was chief of staff at Win TV.
Mm. Really?
Going to council meetings every week to report on council. And he said to me one night on air, we still haven't had that $300,000 tax ratepayers report table. So we went on our light motorsport show and Max Silverburn was on council.
Mm.
We let rip. We named him.
Mm.
And I got home Saturday morning. My phone's ringing. No, Damien, it's Max. Hey, Max, what's going on? I've got 6 irate council people in the studio here now. I want to kill you.
Mm.
Tell them, wait there, I'll come in. I drove straight in. They're all gone. Max is standing. I said, where are they? He said, they've left, mate. As soon as they knew you were coming in, they're gone. I said, yeah, weak as water.
Wow.
So now, seeing you're on council, we will never do that again. Max, all right? He said, no, I encourage you. He said, I've listened to all back. He said, you've only just said what everyone's thinking, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
So keep doing it.
Yeah.
We were never going to get a road racetrack here because Block H was never zoned to be built on. I'll leave that with you, Jade.
What do you mean it was never zoned to be built on?
It was never zoned to be built on. Because I know a club in this town that tried to lease that land to hold a state championship.
The dirt cart?
I'm not saying anything. This is out on near Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
No. You're not allowed to even put temporary structures up there.
Why?
It's revegetation zone.
But you can offset that, surely.
Block H, where they were going to build this, was never to be built on.
Surely you can find somewhere else. There's plenty of land out here. If for nothing else, we've got plenty of land. The thing that annoys me, though, is that...
Over the river.
Well, yeah, exactly. They'll either take it over the river. We've got the bend a couple of hours up the road. Is it even feasible now?
Of course it is, because if you want to get onto Winton Raceway, it's a 3-year wait.
Well, then why is the private sector not filling this? And it'd be easier to do across the river.
Because you got to deal with...
The government.
You heard of Betty Clemenco?
Yeah. Yes, I do know Betty Clemenco.
Had her here for a sportsman's night.
Really?
Her and Daniel.
Yeah.
And guess who would fund it out of their own pocket? But won't deal with this?
Who?
Betty.
Yeah, right.
You know what she owns.
Yeah. She's worth $1 Brazilian.
She don't even know. She don't know what she's worth.
How could you?
You wouldn't.
No. Why doesn't she build it over the river?
No, I directed it over to the city council over there. For all I know, she might be doing something with them.
You know Betty.
Yep.
Ooh, that's interesting. I listened to a podcast with her.
Sportsman's night.
Did ya?
Yeah. She was in town for 3 nights.
Huh. We need to do a sportsman's night.
Got on the Ouzo with her, actually.
On the Ouzo?
Yeah, she knows.
Oh, God damn. Welcome back to 1987, Damo. They want their aperitifs back.
She got on with my wife really well, too. And Daniel, he's just a dude to her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Betty was really nice. She's a nice lady. She black's black, white's white.
Yeah, but I appreciate that because you never left wondering, right?
We were having breakfast on the veranda at the Grand Hotel Sunday morning. She said, yeah, this would be a lovely spot for a racetrack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's funny you should mention that. For the last 20 years.
So what are we going to do about it?
Don't know. I even directed City Council to a number. Directed City Council straight to them.
So here's the thing with the Mildura City Council, Spirit of Cricket, right? Anthony Telfer.
I know Telf. Yeah.
Yep, everyone knows Telf.
Oh,
so his Spirit of Cricket pilot that he ran last year, hugely successful, wants to bring it back for 2 weeks next year.
Yep.
council won't sign it off because they won't because it clashes.
Willowfest?
No. Willowfest doesn't run anymore.
No, it doesn't.
No, there's it's not Melbourne Victory. It's another A-League game that no one cares about, and they won't sign it off. So Mackay want it. So we're about to lose a 2-week cricket festival to Mackay because the council are inflexible.
Yeah.
Surprising?
No.
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 And I've had, I reckon,
No.
5 text messages from Telf already this morning. Because he obviously is heart and soul's in Mildura. He wants to do it here.
Well, what's the soccer game got to do with anything?
Well, because they won't give him access. Like you could move the soccer game down to like number 2 oval or something, or number 3 oval, or there's plenty of other venues that you could hold a soccer game on and put the 100 people.
Why don't they show him a bit of loyalty? He brought people to this district for 30 years at Willowfest.
Correct.
It's one of the biggest.
They don't know that though. This is the problem you have when you've got a council full of people who, with the exception of a couple,
Don't know.
who don't know and don't get it.
He brought hundreds of people to this district.
Hundreds and thousands of people to this district for
between Christmas
Willowfest.
Day and New Year's Day.
Yep.
Willowfest was. We'd all get them into one. Well, they'd all come into one of the Speedway meetings we'd hold. Willowfest was a big. In fact, I think you'll find, Joe, it's one of the biggest cricket carnivals in Australia.
Correct. Exactly.
So what are they?
Exactly. Where's your loyalty? But they don't know. And this is the problem. They don't know or they don't care because it's not their idea. They've got it in their head that a Perth Roar versus Brisbane whatever game that will, there might be a couple of hundred people go to that.
Yeah,
I don't know what the ticket sales were for the last one that they had here, but it was no. So why would they prioritise that over
Put Telf on.
Exactly. And let Telf have that oval. Because it's a global thing now. So
Absolutely yes.
every team that wins their country's spirit of cricket then goes off to compete in Dubai.
I can't believe how he's actually on the show a while ago. I can't believe how he's pulled all that together.
I know. It's incredible.
So I said to him, I just started to evolve, Brady.
Yeah, I know. Just through networking.
Just evolved into an international tournament, mate.
Yes.
I've done Telf for years.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my bugbear at the minute with council. So
You'd have bugbear. We could go on for an hour about council.
We could go on for, a bit of time.
You know, when I used to interview Jason Monica and Liam Wood live on a Wednesday, that all got changed for some reason after they wanted their questions
submitted beforehand.
Yeah.
What questions on notice? That's no fun.
I mean, my boss looked at me. I wonder why they want that now, Damo. I did have a bit of license. I thought, now you're in here.
Yeah, so what did you ask them that upset them? Clearly something.
Well, Jason Monica kept talking about the Ring of Steel, so like the Ring of Smog.
Ring of God, the Ring of Smog.
I said, hey, you coming in next Wednesday, it's Emperor Free Zone. You can't call him the Emperor. Well, I just did. What are you going to do about it?
The Emperor. Yeah, I've heard him called a fair few things. Yeah.
We don't want any landfill going to landfill by 2030. They left it there. Okay, well, the backup tape's going to come on in a minute. Please explain. We're going to start eating it or burning it. Have you got a plan for this?
No.
I said to him, we all throw out elaborate things. I don't want cancer to exist by 2030.
Yeah, well, this is my problem with this reckless run to renewables by 2030. And no one's saying, and people say, the Nats are anti-renewables. No, that's not the case at all. We are not anti-renewables. We are pro-common sense. And you've got to have a base load of power to be able to keep the lights on and the manufacturing industry going. True or not?
You see the clip on Facebook?
Oh, no, which one? You got to be more specific than that, Damo.
This guy's, I reckon he's in Cairns somewhere. It's just, as far as you see, the wind turbines are just...
Still?
He goes, not 70 hair dryers going today, Karen. Imagine using this for your baseload power.
Yeah.
Well, how many windy days do you get in Cairns?
No, exactly. But here's the thing. Those wind turbines, the amount of energy they produce over their 20-year lifespan is not enough to upset the carbon footprint made to make the bloody things, not much less the concrete footings that they have to be in.
Actually, I believe in climate change, Joe.
You are a conspiracy theorist, aren't you? Oh, I think you are.
No, but we've been waiting for this pending doom since the 80s.
Well, this is
pending doom.
Yeah,
Do
but
you think yourself's that important? You know what's going on in the history of weather?
Yeah.
With 160 years proof? You'd be on a Monty Python movie, you idiots. Seriously. If weather had been going for 1 million years, if you had 900,000 of those, I'd go, yeah, well, you might be on to something here. But 160, how old's the Earth?
yeah, well, I
And
know.
we only got 14,000 volcanoes spewing God knows what the atmosphere as we talk. But aluminium
yeah, bad.
is bad.
Concrete.
Cows farting is even worse.
Oh, farming's the single biggest contributor to climate
It's a way
change.
of moving tax around and moving wealth.
Well, because it's socialists. This is the thing. Socialism's never been a good idea and it's never worked ever before. But there
that's
seems to
wrong.
be a huge movement for Marxism and socialism. Now, I tell you what, if you're a reading man, Damo, even if you're not, it's on. Right.
I'm a reading man.
There is a book that I read over summer called Outrider. It's by a bloke called Mark Wales, who was an SAS soldier, has turned now into an author.
You want about this on radio the other day?
Possibly. But this is, read it. I swear to God, it is terrifying. And now with the Chinese warships just doing their little circle work exercises, read it. Terrifying.
That's all right. We've got the Chinese warships doing that, but only got one steelworks left in the country and build anything out of it. And what are we going to do with that?
Well, I mean, are we at a point now where Pine Gap and we kind of go, maybe Lambie's got a point? I don't think we're there yet.
I just don't think we should be. I don't think Albanese should have said anything about putting troops on grounds or just don't poke the bear, mate. It's like a 6-year-old kid poking Mike Tyson who's at his peak. What do we got to defend ourselves?
No,
Three
nothing.
ships or nothing. There you go.
No, although, I don't know. I've
It's going to
got
be hard to invade this country.
No, we're sitting ducks out here. This is what I mean. Read the book, Damo. It is terrifying. It's terrifying when you look at how things, and it's set in the future. It's set in like 2039, but it gives examples how Victoria's been set up to be China's stronghold for them to invade Australia. It's absolutely terrifying. And it's fictional, obviously, because it's set in the future, but it is.
No, I wouldn't. Well, what are the drones at the moment? What are they? Well, these lights being seen around the world, Jade. What are
The
they?
what now?
Well, these lights that have been seen around the world.
Well, they're obviously UFOs.
Yeah. So why are we not saying anything to anyone? And
Who do you want to say something to? You know they're UFOs. I know they're UFOs. You ask any old CIA agent if
Yeah, you
UFOs
certainly do
exist.
know.
Yes.
no one's talking about them anymore. Got used to it.
Yeah. That's right.
We're due for a visit.
Oh, you don't think that they're already here?
No, I mean a big one to scare the world.
Like an Independence Day type one?
Oh, don't be surprised it was done. You want to talk about conspiracy theories?
Yeah, go on.
They could do that in the sky and manufacture one of them and scare you back inside.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
I didn't believe in COVID,
Yeah.
right? Who's to say with holographics and all the rest of it that they can't beam a mothership into the sky tomorrow night and scare you all back into
What, the
lockdown?
government?
Yeah.
The government can't do. This is what our governments, here particularly in Australia, but around the world, are not competent
But
enough.
they
They're
have-
running by people who've never lived in the real world.
Outsource it, Jade.
Outsource it to where?
Wow.
Yeah.
Dunno.
Outsource it to where? Come on,
Elon
Damo.
Musk would have the brains to do that.
Now, he scares the pants off me.
Oh.
Elon Musk does scare the pants off me. Mind you, he's never invented a goddamn thing. No. He's just bought everything and then been able to market it really well because he's
I
a
honestly
spectrum dweller.
believe we're going to get a big visit and a scare. I hope we do.
I do too.
It's only got one question for him.
What's that?
Where are you from?
Yeah, exactly. How far have you come? I've got
you
lots
from,
of
man?
I've got lots of questions. Lots of
I'm not
questions.
scared, but I just think we are. It's just
I actually think that yes, to think that there's not life anywhere else in the universe is completely ignorant,
pretty ignorant.
and narrow-minded. However, I think that they would be looking at us as a very primitive race and going,
wouldn't wanna come
"What a
down here."
waste of time."
I wouldn't want to come to
No,
here.
they're just like, "Oh, what a waste of time." Like, we'll get rid of that planet shortly.
Raping bloody people they are,
Yeah.
murdering and
No, they're not coming here. They're not wasting their time. Let's be honest. They're going to Pandora or somewhere lush and nice.
Yeah, baby. Baby Vultura.
Well, maybe. But I don't think they're coming here to interact with us because I think we're beneath them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, obviously they got more. Yeah, if they wanted to overtake us, they'd take us.
They could have done it ages ago. I think there's probably we've already had visits and they're walking amongst us. Obviously, the lizard people. Queen was a lizard. You really want to get into conspiracy theories?
Queen's a lizard.
Yeah. You know, the lizard people. Michael Jordan was a lizard person.
Yeah, the Jesuits and the Hawks and.
Sorry, what?
The Jesuits and the Black Hawks and.
What's that mean?
Oh well.
Because I'm not a conspirity theorist, so now I don't know what you're talking about.
Conspiracy.
What do you mean?
Donald Rumsfeld was a Jesuit. So
What?
This was like, we'll have another.
No. Well, I mean, we've gone on a weird trajectory now. You may as well finish.
They're the black government, guys.
What are you talking about?
They're the black government that actually run the place.
Who?
The Jesuits and the Black Hawks. What? They're part of your dark government.
The dark government of the world.
Yeah, and you're talking George Bush Senior and Junior, Rumsfeld. You want me to keep going on? Cheney.
Yes. The Rockefellers. You're just spewing out former US presidents.
Yep. Read the books.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually heard. No, you can say laugh at that. I've actually heard their colleagues address them as that. People don't realise it.
What?
I've heard them say, Jesuit Donald Rumsfeld.
But is it Jesuit is a different form of Mormonism, isn't it?
Apparently.
Well, what's this Black Hawk thing? That's just a helicopter.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'll give you the books, Joe. I never read the books. And see how the American Parliament is actually ran.
America don't have a parliament for a start. They're a republic.
They're a republic, but they're not run by the way we think they are.
I don't think they're run at all. They're run in no way a competent way.
Yeah, I thought you'd know about the Jesuits, the Black Hawks.
No, like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
No, neither am I, naturally. Normally, I really aren't. Sometimes I think some people off their head with what they think, but
you don't reckon you sound a little bit like that now?
Well, if you read the book.
I was usually and have been the eternal optimist, right? I am now skeptical of everything I see. I believe nothing of what I see and only half of what I... nothing of what I hear and only half of what I see.
Did man land on the moon?
No.
No.
No, I don't think so. Do you think so?
No. Why haven't they been back?
No, well, exactly. Well, it's expensive, but I think Elon would have been back.
It's expensive.
Well, it is expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was giving Iran $6 billion too, isn't it?
What's that?
So I was giving Iran $6 billion.
Well, this is true. No, well, I don't think so. I think the world needed something to look forward to at that time.
Yeah, well, when you got 11-year-old kids on the internet and in books going, that didn't happen.
No.
Faults in photos.
Yeah, but now it's easy to see because as a society, we've become much more stupid because we've got access to all of the information we need.
I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracy theorist. I question some things.
Well, isn't it good practice to question most things?
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
But also, I don't think you can get stuck. Or like, even if you question something, you can't get stuck on the no. Or I just think you have to be flexible and be open to.
You have to be.
Yeah. Well, that's also the art of good conversation, right? You can't be just so steadfast in
that's gone,
one.
Jade. The art of good conversation is dead.
No, we've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes now.
Yeah, but that's... Yeah.
We've talked about... I'm going to send you an invoice for this after, by the way. A
couple of weirdos.
For therapy.
But...
Discussing your past marriages and...
God, I've sent you one. Dragging crap out of you I didn't want to talk about.
It's what I do well.
It's just one of those things. We go on about conspiracies.
Yeah, we could.
I don't really... there's some things I don't believe.
Well, we know COVID was one. Give us another one.
I reckon I've half been proven right.
Yeah, I reckon there's more to come. But again, I honestly don't think there is any government on earth who would be capable of orchestrating such a thing.
No, I know.
I just don't. Because,
Nobody's
honestly,
lucky, Jade.
Gee, we can't rezone a block of land in less than 2.5 years. You think they're going to orchestrate a global pandemic? No, come on. Come on, Damo. We can't get the Victorian government to speak to the Queensland government, for God's sake, or New South Wales, and they're just over the river there. Yeah. Come on.
That's why I laugh at Save the Planet. We can't even get on with ourselves, idiots.
No, exactly.
Save the Planet.
Put the kettle on, have a cup of tea, have a chat about it.
That's right.
How novel. That's good advice. Damo, I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, I better go to work, bro.
You better. Right.
Thanks for the opportunity for wax lyrical.
You are welcome, and invoices in the mail.
Okay. Have we a shot?
Yeah, probably. Do you know how much I charge? No, nothing. I charge nothing for my counselling sessions.
There'll be a you watch this, listeners. There'll be a lurk to it.
I just want to spot on the commentary team during footy this year. Oh!
Might be able to do something there, actually.
I was going to say, is that a no?
No, it's not a no.
Oh, I certainly hope not.
I'm not the pinnacle of authority.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. Joe is.
Does Joe actually argue with you ever?
Yeah.
He does not.
He does.
He does.
So you really want
not.
a job in the commentary panel?
Yeah, like not every week, but when I can. I'm doing basketball again with Silco.
Doing what? Commentary, or you want to be special comments, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, special comments. Sure, why not? I don't care. All I ever wanted to be, when I got into radio because I wanted to be a sports commentator. And now in this job, I get to live out my dream just by pretty much harassing and bullying people to let me do it.
Jeez. Those people cringe at local food. Who you got with you today, Damo? Jade. Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly.
We're off limits. Club rooms are shut.
Yeah, well.
They come near a huddle.
Poor J-Mac walks up into the commentary box at the hot house, and I reckon he does exactly that. Oh, God, what is she doing here again?
We should be able to do something there, Jade.
Righto.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, you're so welcome.
But if you're going to do that, you'll have to be part of the Olympic Park commentary team.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And I want to jump in a sidecar.
Yeah, I can organise that.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Thanks, Jade.
In the heart of the nation where laughter's the key, Natch has the podcast, join the revelry, taking the Mickey with positive spin. Country folks unite and let the Nat Chat begin. Nat Chat where the laughter's free, spinning tales about politics with positivity.